we're still on our way to Prince George. It was a bit of an eventful descent down from the connector into Merritt. I heard on the radio as we were leaving the brake check, just going down the hill, that there's a smash right after the brake check, and I'm like, we just passed that, so somebody behind us crashed. And there were police cars, ambulance, fire truck, all headed up the mountain, so I'm not sure exactly what crashed, but I heard something about a camper and other side of the road. So somebody crashed right behind us.
In 900 meters, turn left on Highway 97C.
Thanks, Carmen. And we drove right through Merritt. We didn't take the connector highway, we took the connector highway, but we didn't take the Coquihalla Highway 5. Took 97C. Let's see here, towards Ashcroft. Logan Lake is up on the hill. I see Logan Lake to the right.
Turn left at the stop sign.
Highland House bed and breakfast. In my mind, I said
on Highway 97C.
Bread and breakfast. Bread for breakfast? Sure. All right, 97C. We are kind of in the middle of nowhere. I mean, there's Logan Lake right there, but it's quite desolate over here. A lot of this kind of country where we're driving long distances. And it's the further north we get, the longer the distances are. Looking at my fuel gauge, I thought we'd be able to make it to Prince George with the fuel, but we're not. We're gonna have to fuel up somewhere along the way, so maybe Quesnel or Williams Lake. One of those we'll fuel up and maybe even 100 Mile House. I don't know, I have to think of where fuel stations are again. I know Quesnel has, I think. Anyway, there's fuel stations up that way. We'll fuel up along the way. It's a steep little road down. I don't want to take it. Not with this truck. Apparently we're climbing. It's been a long time since I've driven this road. Have we ever driven once, twice?
It's like over a 10-year span.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we've been on this highway. Dispatch didn't give me any routing, which road to take, just left it blank, so I've kind of chose the routing I wanted to take. It is the shortest routing I could find, but it's definitely more small roads and out of the way. If we were to have a breakdown, we would be in a little bit more trouble than if I had been a breakdown on the Coquihalla. We live on the wild side. But this is a well-traveled road and close enough to help for tow trucks and stuff if something went wrong. Let's just have something not go wrong and we're good. Big steep climb here actually. We've got 4.5 hours of drive time left. today, and then tomorrow we'll have to do the last 2 or 3 hours of driving. And then spend basically a day and a half with family up in Prince George. They moved up there just a few weeks ago, so time to visit them. Why say goodbye to them if we go visit them anyway? Jess was in Michigan when they moved up, so it's a long drive up there. Solid 10 hours. 8 hours in a normal vehicle. It is beautiful country up here. Don't have the big mountains, but lots of trees and lots of trails and so much to explore.
I'm thinking about fall colors already.
Fall colors would be beautiful up here. Yes, they would. Yes, they would. Jess said there was a big mine just a couple kilometers down the road, but I haven't seen no big mine yet. We will keep recording until we see a big mine. Let's watch a 2-hour video. Just a couple kilometers down the road, it'll just take 2 hours to get there. Like a lot of these trees are, a lot of this forest is replanted forest, so it's been forested, and you got a lot of new growth here. Oh, we got a long way to go, a couple of kilometers. Oh yeah. This will be a long video.
What says this is a 7-minute car drive? Dig. It's like any second the truck's gonna go beep, 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 beep. Overheating. I do have the AC going, but I suspect we're near the summit and there won't be much climbing left. If all of a sudden we do have more climbing left after this, then I'll have to turn the AC off. Looking at the mountains and seeing the different layers further away. I know in the video it's just a small, tiny mountains way out in the background, but real life everything always looks so much bigger than on video, unfortunately. Real life is so much better. Sorry for everyone watching. We're seeing much more beautiful things than you are. Down we go! Let's make sure we don't go down too quick. Had a 10% downgrade just a little way back. That was a pretty steep downgrade. What? Only a couple of kilometers ago. I don't think Jess knows what a kilometer is. I think we'll have to teach her a little more. In the States too long.
Yeah, been in the States a little too long. I see the mine. That mountain in front of us looks awfully flat on the top. Almost like it's man-made. Almost like. Oh yeah, that is an absolutely huge open pit mine.
Shit.
Wow, that thing is massive. It's like basically they're moving mountains.
She said there was some they didn't really see it.
See dust trails of big trucks rolling around on top. Such a massive mine. I wonder what they mine over here. Copper? Probably a little of everything, but I wonder what their majority is. Like, I'm sure they find gold and different irons and stuff like that in there, but probably, I'm guessing copper or something like that. Oh, the mine's on both sides of the road. I don't recall that. Because to the right-hand side, I see a lot of man-made mountain there too. I don't recall the mine being on both sides of the road. That's definitely man-made mountain to the right. Highway going down that way. I wonder if the mine was forced to rebuild the road as they were mining. They needed certain things and they had to rebuild the highway. I wonder if the mine paid for this highway. I bet you if all of a sudden they found deposits right underneath this highway, they would move the highway again. So unbelievably massive. It's like looking to both sides, it's huge. Like the mountain in front of us is green, but that's all man-made. You can see how the layers, how they've dumped gravel and looks like we get to drive right into the mine. It's kind of neat. Like I said, it's been a long time since we've been here. The mine definitely is on both sides of the highway. Yeah, huge dome. They must process something in the big red dome there right in front of us. I don't know if you guys can see it in the light the way it is, but they must have just moved billions of tons of rock. I see a big dump truck there to the left. Those things are massive. Highland Valley Copper. Oh yeah, so copper. We'll go with copper. hard to explain how much dirt that they've moved. Like, if you put that much dirt in a prairie somewhere, it would be the biggest mountain. A huge mountain in the prairies. Huge. I'm gonna sneeze. Thank you. Excuse me. Hope I didn't blow your eardrums out.
How'd you cut my back? The eardrum, how'd you cut it back?
I can still see the mine on both sides of the road here. Like the mine has their own overpass, so they must have big equipment going over the road. That'd be kind of cool if one of those big dump trucks drove over. If I knew that they were actively doing it, I would pull over and wait just to see it.
Just imagine this guy tripping over your gate.
Go off duty just to watch mining equipment. .3 meters. I am 3.43 meters. So lots of room. Here's a viewpoint. I don't remember how much room there was, so I'm not going to pull in there with a big rig. Yeah, you can see mining like crazy. There's one of those big mining trucks parked right beside us down here. Oh, wow. Man, that pit goes down deep. It just keeps going down. So they've dug down incredibly deep. See, it's still active. You see people there all over. There's equipment moving around and dust trails. The mine is stopped on the right hand side. It's all on the left hand side now. But it's just massive. Just keeps going and going and going. A couple of kilometers anyway. There's their lake. If that dam would ever fail to that lake, that'd be toxins going into rivers like you wouldn't believe. Yeah, I see big caterpillars moving around. Absolutely massive. That's all I gotta say is absolutely massive. It'd be pretty cool to get a tour of that mine. Just to get to ride with one of those big dump trucks from one end of the mine to the other.
grab a load and move them out. See after this climb. Not much, just more forest. Unfortunately, you can't really see the lake. You guys can probably see the lake pop out every now and then on the left-hand side there through the trees. Massive sludge lake with all their toxins. I guess it all filters out there, so it doesn't go into the rest of the environment. And the lake is massive too. Yeah, the lake itself, just to deal with their toxic waste, is just massive on its own. Well, anyway, guys, that was really interesting. It's definitely been a long time. They've kept digging since the last time. It's definitely bigger and badder than it's ever been. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Hit that thumbs up.